weapons, absolutely.
Experimental weapons?
Yeah. Yeah, I think. Yeah, they shoot the bus. We saw the bus as like a cloth, like a wet cloth. It seems like a Volkswagen. Big bus, like a Volkswagen.
This testimony was reported to American filmmaker Patrick Dillon a few weeks after the battle for the airport. The person interviewed, Majid al-Ghazali, is a well-known and respected man in Baghdad, who is the first violinist in the city orchestra. In addition to describing the battle, Majid al-Ghazali wanted to show Patrick Dillon the site near the airport where the mysterious weapon was used, along with the traces of fused metal still visible and the irregularly sized ditches where the bodies were buried before they were exhumed. We sought out Majid al-Ghazali to hear more details of his story. We met up with him in Amman, and he pointed out some inexplicable peculiarities on the bodies of the victims of the battle for the airport.
Just the head was burned, and the other parts of the bodies wasn't anything that happened on it.
Al-Ghazali reported that he had seen 3 passengers in a car, all dead, with their faces and teeth burnt, the body intact, and no sign of projectiles.
There wasn't any bullet. I saw they teeth, just their teeth, and no eyes. All of them, with the body, nothing for the bodies. Just the teeth and all the, the heads were burned.
There were other inexplicable aspects. The terrain where the battle took place was dug up by the American military and replaced with other fresh earth. The bodies that were not hit by projectiles had shrunk to just slightly more than 1 meter in height.
Except that the bodies is killed by the bullets. Most of them that become very small. It's like that, something like that.
We asked Majid what weapon he imagined had been used.
1 year later, we heard that this is update technology. They used a unique one. It's like lasers.
26 in the past. About 20 of them. Some of them have no head. The head being cut. Some of them, the arms, the legs. The only one who didn't injure was the driver. And really, I don't know how he reached our hospital. Because one hand, one arm was in his lap. One head beside him. It was a very, very strange, horrible thing. In the roof of the car, there was part of the body's momentum, intestine, brains.
Yes, all parts of the body.
It was a miserable, it was very, 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 very miserable.
I told them before.
Do you have idea with what kind of weapons they attacked that bus?
The bus, we didn't know what kind of weapon would be hit. Really, what we saw, cut arms, cut legs, cut head, abdomen, open abdomen, viscera outside.
It seems to be a new weapon.
It seems a new weapon.
They try to do experiments on our civilian.
We don't know what was.
Nobody can identify what the type of this weapon.
We went to Belgium to find the filmmaker of the sequence, Geert van Moorter, a doctor working as a volunteer in Iraq.
Here in this footage is taken in the hospital, the General Teaching Hospital in Hilla, which is about 100 kilometers from Baghdad and close to the historical site of Babylon. Here we had a talk with the colleague Dr. Saad al-Faluji, which is the chief surgeon in that hospital. Dr. al-Faluji said to me that from the survivors that he operated, that they said they did not hear any noise. So there was no explosion to hear, no metal fragments or shrapnels or bullets in the bodies. So they themselves were thinking of some strange kinds of weapon which they did not know.
Let's hear Dr. Saad El-Fallujah's story about this more in detail.
In this pass, it was very crowded. They went from Hilla to Kifil to see their families. But before they reached the checkpoint of American checkpoint, they returned back. They said to them, please return, the villagers. They said to them, return back, return back. When he tried to return back, they shoot him from the checkpoint.
No gunshot wounds.
No, I don't know what it was really. We are here 10 surgeons. We couldn't decide what was the weapon which been hit this car.
But inside the bodies you did not discover ordinary bullets.
All of them we didn't find bullets.
Yeah.
We didn't find bullets. But most of the injured people been dead. So they took them immediately to the refrigerator. We couldn't dissect and see. But those who are alive, we couldn't find any kind of shells.
Can I ask you a question about some of the technology that you're developing to fight the war on terror, specifically directed energy and high-powered microwave technology? When do you envision that you can weaponize that type of technology?
Goodness, it is in, for the most part, the kinds of things you're talking about are in varying early stages. Do you have anything you'd add?
I don't think I would add much. I think they are in early stages and probably not ready for employment at this point.
In the normal order of things, when you invest in research and development and begin a developmental project, you don't have any intention or expectations that one would use it. On the other hand, the real world intervenes from time to time, and you reach in there and take something out that is still in a developmental stage, and you might use it. So your question's not answerable. It depends on what happens in the future and how well things move along the track, and whether or not someone feels it's appropriate to reach into a development stage and see if something might be useful, as was the case with the unmanned aerial vehicles.
But you sound like you're willing to experiment with it.
Yeah, I think that's the point, and I think, we have, I think, from the beginning of this conflict, I think General Franks has been very open to looking at new things if there are new things available, and has been willing to put them into the fight even before they've been fully wrung out. And I think that's not referring to these two particular cases of directed energy or high-powered microwave, but sure. And
yes,
we will continue to do that.
People might think that energy weapons only pose a danger for the countries involved in a military conflict, but that's not the case. One particular weapon called the active denial system, better known as the pain ray, has been built specifically for use in maintaining public order. Given its claim to be non-lethal and the suffering it produces, this weapon could become a very controversial one.
So ironically, even though Americans would probably think, oh yes, special new weapons, it would make sense because Iraq is such a mess, maybe we can do something, turn the corner in some way with the use of these weapons. The truth is that the only real way in which the military, sees the prospects of the deployment of these is in their domestic use, and you know quite well.
Tulsa, Oklahoma police are among a growing number of departments using a powerful new siren. It can be heard and felt.
He's paying attention.
Were you startled at all?
Oh yeah, I was like, what the heck?
Manufacturer says the rumbler represents a new type of emergency signal.
I like it. I've used it this morning, used it yesterday, and in one or two cases it was obvious that the rumbler was what brought the attention to the driver.
Do you notice anything different about that siren?
Yes, ma'am. It's a deeper tone than the normal one.
The rumbler is designed for the era of the distracted driver.
A little vibration in the seats in the car. I mean, not a big difference, but enough to know that they're back there.
At least 40 police agencies have adopted the rumbler so far, and more are testing it. Diane Kepley, The Associated Press.
Them up into the air, disoriented them, and then eventually fatally soaked and chilled them. Well, adding to this mystery, though, is the fact that a local woman started finding numerous dead birds outside her Marshall County home around Christmas time. Local 6's Lauren Adams has tonight's top story. And Lauren, do we know if there's a connection between these two?
Well, Scott, as you know, both cases are still being investigated, so really it is too early to tell. But the birds found locally, like this one right here, are identical to the ones found in Arkansas, and that was enough for one woman to panic and call us.
Now, this energy exchange that we're talking about between electromagnetic and electrogravitic energy can be localized or aimed to a specific location. In other words, you can target things with it. Scalar waves don't exist in our normal world normally. They are in the vacuum of space. They exist in the dimension of time. And since the vacuum of space exists everywhere, scalar waves can draw on vast amounts of energy. This is called energy from the vacuum, or zero-point energy. This energy can be transmitted faster, literally, than the speed of light.
All we know is that fireworks or weather could not cause 5,000 blackbirds to have liquefied insides. That's what the Fish and Wildlife veterinarian said. They've never seen anything like it. Now we're seeing the same pulverization of the insides of blackbirds. They are dead when they hit the ground. They are dying in the night while they're roosting in trees.
But then 100,000 dead fish turned up on U.S. shores.
Tons of them, and they're just going nuts. Quarter to 7 on the 28th of July. Now they're laying chemtrails, big ones, lots of them. There's scalar waves going on in this cloud right here. So they are doing Haarp. And that's probably what was making the birds go crazy. .30 on the 28th of July. And what was over here has turned into this huge cloud, which is now up here. That chemtrail has turned into that. And the sky's almost completely covered with massive artificial cumulus clouds.